All right. Welcome back to NASCAR 1. For the second try through this championship mode. Let me know if the music's still too loud or anything. This should be interesting. I've spent a little bit of time since the last time that we did this, doing some testing with the team to make sure that the car goes a little quicker this time. It's been interesting trying to figure out how this sim works overall. Some of it is based on reality, and some of it seems to be quirks of the sim itself. So we'll see what we can do. So we're just to bring everybody up to speed. If you weren't here last time, we're racing as Axel Richardson Jr., aka Bubbles, and we're going through the 1994 NASCAR Championship. So did the first 4 rounds in the last session here. If we go check out our championship, luckily we can still continue that. So we did the first 4 rounds: Daytona, Rockingham, Richmond, and Atlanta. I think it started off, in my opinion, on a better side of things. We were able to place fairly well, or did as well as I think we could at Daytona. Oh yeah, and we can look at the results too. So finished 35th, which is bad out of 39 cars. But considering the speed that the other cars had, I was actually able to stay in front of some. The super speedways in this thing are so weird. So that was good overall, to get through that race, the full distance. Then we went on to Rockingham, which I think was the best race, finishing up in 18th, late race restart, making a few passes and getting up into the 18th position, which felt pretty good. And then it all fell apart. Went on to Richmond, and you can see DNF last place. I had a fairly quick car, but looking back at it, I think the car overall was good in practice. I'm not sure if it would have been good on the long run. So crashing out, though, I think hitting Rick Mast going into turn 3, spinning, crashing the wall, having a terrible pit stop, and then continuing on from there. And then we wound up at Atlanta. I was feeling okay about Atlanta, but I don't think we practiced enough to make sure the car was going to be good on a long run. So at the green flag, things felt okay. I think I probably had a mid-20s car, and then things fell off. So where does that bring us? We're at round number 5, then Darlington. This would be the 400-mile Darlington race, so the spring race. And I know I mentioned it on the last stream, but Darlington overall is a super strange track in this game, especially if you looked at the circuits last time, barring Daytona, because that was a modded track. But Rockingham, Richmond, Atlanta, I feel like we're fairly correct, done in maybe a slightly old style, but felt somewhat like the real counterparts. I don't know what they were doing with Darlington. It is not real at all. So it should be an interesting one to see for everybody. And then before we get started with that, I do want to make sure, I know I had last time an issue with backing up, reverse, keyboard C. Let me just see what I have that set to in Joy to Key. So I've got, for this to work right, I've got steering mapped and everything through DOSBox, but then I also have to use a side program to make sure I can use some of these keyboard commands. And this is why I couldn't back up last time, because there is no button mapped to this. So let me see what I got available to me. I'll probably use this one here. So I'll set something to reverse. It's kind of weird that you can't just shift down to reverse, but that's how it works. All right, so I've got a key for reverse. Hopefully that works. Windows yelling at me here. Okay, so I did some testing and some practicing just to make sure, try out some things. I want to say thank you to a few folks. Ted Meat specifically, great YouTuber in himself, plays a lot of these older games and has some good series with like the Grand Prix games, Jeff Kremen's Grand Prix games. So go check him out. And he turned me on to a couple settings I could change in DOSBox to actually make this thing feel a little better. and it's gonna be awesome, especially if I want to also do some of the other older Papyrus sims. So Ted Meat, thanks a bunch. That's made handling the cars a bunch easier. And then I had a few folks commenting with setup advice and all this. So I read through all that. I actually got the game manual and read through that as well to see if I could learn anything about how to set up the cars for this sim, since it's a little strange in ways. And so able to do some practice. We got the boys doing some testing, and I think I'll be a little more competitive. I'm really hoping. Anyway, as long as I can keep it on the track. So before we jump into Darlington, here's our points championship. So Harry Gant is having a great season so far with 2 wins and leading the championship from Jeff Bodine, but just by 3 points. So things are tight. It's only 5 rounds in. We look down, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt with the top 5. Axel Richardson is in 28th position. Now, keep in mind as well, we talked about this last time too, that not every car does every race. So there will be some races or some cars that just finish way lower in the championship because they're not making every start. And there's no column in this to show how many starts, unfortunately, but you could basically say we're in last place for the cars that are going to do the full season. Not where I want to be, but we're close to Rick Mast, Hut Strickland, Steve Grissom in front, and we'll see how we do at some of these tracks coming up. So, Darlington, the lady in black. So I want to go to the garage real quick. We'll do a little bit of practice. I haven't warmed up today. We'll get this top secret setup that the team's been working on. So we'll do a few practice laps, make sure everything is feeling pretty good, and then we'll see what we can do for the race. Now, Darlington in real life is a very narrow circuit which you race up against the top of the track, right against the wall. And I can't help but think that the developers thought that would be too difficult either for folks to do offline or maybe even with online racing, because this sim was raced online. And so when they modeled this track, they just did it differently. And it has to be intentional because the other circuits are fairly accurate. But let's jump into practice and I'll show you what I mean. And let me know if you can't hear me very well. I tried to turn down the game sounds a little bit from last time so it doesn't blow everyone's ears out like it did before. But we'll come out of the pits and get onto the circuit. And yeah, overall, Darlington, where it should be 1.5 lanes wide in spots, has been made to be 3 or 4 lanes wide around the whole thing. And the banking, the way it transitions back, coming out of turn 4 specifically, back onto the straightaway, is all kinds of sideways. They're messed up, really. But we'll see what we can do here. I want to keep an eye on the tire temperatures. I think I've got everything tuned fairly well. Yeah, but this doesn't look anything like Darlington. So we'll come out of turn 4, and here you can see the big bump over the top onto the straightaway. Whoa. And we also have to watch the cars merging out of the pit lane. We won't have to worry about it during the race since it's a shorter race, but they do tend to stop as they get onto the straightaways. Turns 3 and 4 here are just so weird, and the banking, the way it falls off there, actually tends to throw you towards the wall as well. So I'll stay a bit lower coming out of turn 4. The car pushed a little bit that time. But if any of you know what Darlington is supposed to look like, this is an interesting representation of it. We'll forgive them. 1993, 1994, whoa, smacking the wall coming out of turn 4. Yeah, Talladega, I think, is the other egregious misrepresentation with the kink in the front straightaway. It became kind of famous when this sim was out in that version. We might get to that today, we'll see. Yeah, we'll be getting a few Darlington stripes here. You can actually smack the wall. In my testing, I was hitting the wall pretty good here and there, and you can hit it pretty hard without damaging the car. Well, I got a little bit of right rear overheating. we'll see. The car starts to push a little bit as it gets up to speed, so the tire may not become the rear may not be too much of an issue, but we'll have to see. We can just rock it around the bottom. Turns 3 and 4 seem to be more banked, so you can actually, once you get the car settled into 3, you can really just flat-foot it around there. So we're hitting a 169. If I remember correctly, I think the leaders will be 171s. So we got to pick up a little pace, but I'm able to stick with Rusty here, which is good. He'll be quick. There's Mark Martin down the inside. The AI will run what is much more the traditional Darlington line, but it's slower if I run up there, so I'm going to be taking advantage of the wide circuit. Pull a 170 out there, so that's better. So it looks like just the right rear is overheating a little bit, so we could add a little tire pressure there. Remove that. Let's see. We're third right now, so that's a lot better. We'll have to see if after practice here for a few laps how well I'm doing. Yeah, and not going to be able to use the apron there. It's just too much of a banking changes. Now we're starting to fall down the standings, so we're seeing what these guys really have. Rusty, what is he doing? Going into the pits, I think. Okay. Taken out by Rusty Wallace. What was that about? Okay. Let's see that on replay real quick. I thought he was going into the pit lane. Oh, it looks like I had a little rear damage, so maybe I lied about the car not getting damaged. That's not my fault. Sometimes you can't avoid them. Let's go adjust that right rear. Yeah, Rusty, watch out on the track. We're gonna see if we can avoid you. All right, so we'll do a little more practice. That was weird. That never happened to me during testing. Rusty was a pretty dirty driver if you go back and watch some of these races, so I guess it's on brand for him. Him and Dale Earnhardt back in this season were big rivals. So it looks like, even though it was abbreviated there, but Waltrip's 171.6. So we'll see what we can get. Ooh. To get the tires up to temperature, because the car likes to slide around. Yeah, we're on backup car number 1. Let's see how many we use during this stream. On the short tracks, things are going to be interesting. If I remember right, the AI might be kind of easier at one of them. This game isn't really hard too much, but it's challenging if you want to make it so. You could easily lower the AI difficulty and win every race if you wanted to. I've got them on 100%, so pretty much you can actually get them higher than that if you wanted to, but it's challenging enough. finishing barely in the teens in our best race last time. And I think the most challenging thing for somebody not racing these older sims is no force feedback. There's really no feeling on the wheel, so you're kind of just using your eyes to figure out what the car is doing. So the tire's coming up now, so I'm going to have to be careful on the opening couple of laps. Hopefully the AI take it easier as well. Oh man, what was that? Car stopping on the straightaway. Who was that? Was that Bill Elliott? Man, we'll have to reset again. The NASCAR games just get better with each one. NASCAR 2, the circuits are much better. They fixed like Talladega, Darlington. They much more represent the real ones. And the NASCAR 3, I talked about this a little bit on the last stream. NASCAR 3 is the last one with this older physics engine that was used for all of Papyrus's early games. NASCAR 4 was done on the Grand Prix Legends engine. And if I think I was maybe a comment or somebody who commented last stream as well that the publishing NASCAR 3 came out, I believe, after Grand Prix Legends did, and it used this older engine. And reasoning, I think the publisher saw the mild to no success of Grand Prix Legends, and that it was, getting reviews that it was too hard, and they didn't want the NASCAR game to have that same feeling. So they basically told Papyrus to use the more stable, older engine for it, and they worked on the engine for NASCAR 4 a lot more. Yeah, IndyCar 2 is my I'll call it my first sim. It's my the old classic. I want to do some races in that too, but thought it'd be fun to split some of this Formula One stuff I've been up to lately with a little bit of NASCAR racing. All right, let's see if we can avoid the cars now, since they apparently have no problem cutting me off. Here comes Darrell Waltrip to merge on. It's running a little high. Car is very nervous for the first couple of laps, so I'm gonna have to be extra careful. We're running a little wide out of 2. See if we can get at least a couple good laps to make me feel like I've got the pace. I feel like I'm sticking with the cars in front a little bit better. I'm not really pushing, and I'm able to keep with Kyle Petty here. Up to 29th on the timing chart. It's a full field of cars at this track, so see what we get this time. Definitely a better lap around here. 172 up to P1. Okay, that's what I want to see. I told them to put the rocket fuel in it this time, so I think we've got the speed we're going to need to win this one, as long as I can keep it away from the crazy AI. Want to do a little bit of a run here, make sure the car doesn't fall off towards the end. I read a little bit about too, so in the manual they talk about the 2 different tires, so you can pick either Hoosier or Goodyear, and I think they modeled them to be different and somewhat similar to the real thing. So the Hoosier tires faster on a short run but will wear out sooner, whereas the Goodyear's ultimately a little slower on like a single lap run, but over the race distance would last a bit longer. Since we're doing short races, I think the Hoosier choice was actually the better one, but as Atlanta proves, it can wear out the tires. Alright, so things are feeling pretty good. Let's check out the tire temps. Yeah, we're no longer overheating that right rear. You want to get them around 220. Ooh, a little hot in the middle, but I pushed quite a bit that time. 220 is the sweet spot for the tires. It's where you're going to get the most grip. The insides, they're kind of a lost cause at some of these places. As long as they're not cold as ice, they're doing as best they can. The left front too. I've got it to work a little bit. You can see it's up to 150. I think last stream we were barely able to get that one above 110. So I might adjust the right front just a little bit. All right, the 11 car is slamming into the outside wall. Mr. McGarry, thank you for your compliment there. Running right up against the outside of the wall, so that would be the real Darlington line if the track was... Basically, if they chopped off the circuit at the bottom dotted line there, that would be the correct width of the circuit. They added an extra lane below it, though, which we will happily use. All right, so things feeling pretty good. Overall, let's see where we are on the timing sheet. Still P1, which bodes very well, but barely. I mean, I'm only, 2/10 quicker than, or I guess 0.2 miles an hour quicker than Ernie Irvin. So, gotta make sure we do a good job during qualifying. Yeah, Tony, this is the wide Darlington. Yeah, I think that's actually a good, Andrew, that's a good correlation that this looks like Motegi. The corners are definitely different, so they did make them a bit different, so that they drive differently. This turns 3 and 4 much easier to go flat out in. But I'm feeling pretty good. The car, I'm not having to overdrive it. And as long as we don't do things like this during the race, we will be okay. All right. Yeah, and the dip coming out of turn 4 is a little out there. So it's going to be a 29 lap race. We're going to go qualify. I'm going to put a little less fuel in it for qualifying, but same setup. We're going with the tried and true. No qualifying setups here. And we'll do our qualifying. So what did Pole get? Oof, 173.9. Might be a little steep, but we'll see. I mean, I hit that 172, which would put us close to the top 10. So as long as I'm not super far back there, I'll be happy with it. Tentative coming out of the pits here. The trick's going to be getting the tires up to temperature, and I guess if I was really trying to eke everything out of it, I would use different tire pressures for this, because we're only going to get, I think, 1 lap here. So it better count. So coming to the line to begin our qualifying lap. Green flag. Just trying to bury it into 1. I'm not going for the flat-out lap of all laps. I just want to get around consistently and make sure I'm in front of some of the really slow cars. All right, able to keep it down on the bottom of the circuit. Coming around turn 4 then, and up to the line. Felt like an okay lap. 172, so P10. All right, 172.6. All right, that is going to be a good starting spot. So I will be on the outside, which is a little scary. But P10 won't have too many cars in front. So we'll go rushing towards the first turn. All right, so we're going to be doing a 29-lap race. Going to make sure I put all the fuel in it. I do want to adjust my right front tire just a little bit. I'm going to add like 1 PSI. Make sure we don't overheat it too much. So with a race like this, 29 laps, assuming there's no major accidents, which there very well could be, judging by the AI during practice, we'll see if see how well we can get through things. It's going to be avoidance for the first few laps, and then see what happens from there. So why don't we get started? Darlington, 400-mile race. I think Dale Earnhardt won this one in real life. And he's starting just in front of us there. Yeah, keep clear of Rusty is the main goal here, at least initially. And I didn't test my reverse button, but we'll have to see if that, hopefully we won't need it. That's the main goal. Yeah, I have no idea how the AI will be on the start here, if they're all going to check up going into the first corner, if they're all going to blow by me. You have to race a little tentatively. And I've decided I will restart the race if the AI do something bad in like the first couple of laps. It's not quite fair. There is a way to restart the race. If it's my fault though, we'll keep it as it is. So coming through turns 3 and 4 on the high side of Darlington. Everybody cross your fingers for this one. Green flag is out. Forgot they come out early. And please do not check up in front of me, everybody. About half throttle now, up to 4th gear. Just let it settle in. So we'll come into turn 1. Back of the car, slipping a little bit. Got a couple cars passing, but making it through the first couple of corners. Sterling Marlin getting by there. Still on the high side. Not where I'm super comfortable. All right, getting through the first lap. Not quite able to get to that low side yet, but we'll just ride around the top here. Tires coming up to temperature, things will get a little more stable. Got a car looking low on me. We'll see if we can maybe block the low line a little bit. Everybody's going to be going low right now. Checks up a little bit. But they're sliding high. See if we can rip it around the low side. Once things string out a little bit here, feel a little more confident. Trying to pass, but whoop, Brett Bodine in the 26 slowing up quite a bit there. Car rocketing around the outside. Who was that? Ward Burton. I think I read this was the first race that he finished. Coming out of the second turn there, I got a run on Ward around the outside. So if we can get that position back, able to do it. Alrighty, so a tense few opening laps, but holding position quite well now. See if we can work on these guys in front a little bit. I would love to finish top 10 here. I think I've got the speed that ultimately I could win, but that will just be icing on the cake if it happens. And Bodine once again blocking me on the low side. He's in the apron a little bit out of turn 4. See if we can get a nice run on Bodine into turn 1. Almost sliding up into him. Sketchier than I'd want it to be. But he pushed a little wide coming out of the turn, so we'll have a little bit of a run. And I see a car down low. Shades of practice. Backing out a little bit of it there. Might be Dale Earnhardt, actually. Does he have a problem? Oh, tapping the wall a little bit. No harm done there. All right, settling back on the back straightaway. That's Sterling Marlin down low there. A few quite processional laps here. Seems like I only get a run on him into one, and turns 1 and 2. Oh, there's not a lot of room there. Flying it into the wall. Try to avoid everybody else. Car is smashing behind me. So we might get run into a little bit there, damaging the hood. See if we can get the thing around. And I knew what I was doing there. See if we can stay on the lead lap. Bodine pinched me. I'm going to blame that one on him. I was faster for multiple laps. Pit lane is closed. Let Rick Mass go by. Or I guess that wasn't Rick Mass, Bobby Hamilton. All right, so taking the yellow flag. All right, so we're gonna go replace the right front at least. We do not need to replace the others. I feel like I do need to fix the damage. It's pretty significant, but last time that got me multiple laps down. Hopefully, because I caught the field this time, things will happen a little quicker. Dive it into pit lane here. Let's see what the crew can do. Hopefully they're not eating ice cream. Try not to overrun the pit stall. All right, stopping it this time. We're only going to replace one tire, and then they're just going to repair the car. See if they can fix things up enough. Hopefully without going a lap down. As far as I can tell, there's no way to cancel the repair job halfway through the pit stop like you can in the old sims. We might have removed our hood there. Just cut all the sheet metal away and let's get out of here. Got a few cars passing me. Those would have been the guys that pit on the back straight away. Come on, 40 seconds. Tap me on the rear of the hood. All right. So I think we're going to keep the lap, but there's going to be a wounded car now. So we got 20 laps to go. P36. Both Bodines seem to be out of it. That's too bad. That I knew going into turn 1 that it was going to be tight if we tried to pass on the low side. See if we can get a little bit of a feel for it here as we're trying to catch up to the cars. Yeah, they're right in turns 3 and 4, so won't be able to do anything super fast. All right, we're in save mode now for this one. The draw distance is not good enough to know if we will hit the back of the pack through some of these corners, just to play it kind of easy. Hopefully I've got enough speed to pass at least some of these slower ones, get back up into the 20s. Won't be able to tell though until we take the green. They do use both pit roads in NASCAR 1 Hutchie. But unlike some of the later games, you can't be placed anywhere else other than the first stall on the front stretch pits, so you don't get to disadvantage from being placed on the backstretch or anything like that. You know, if it wasn't for the 2 red buildings on the outside there, I don't think you'd be able to know that this is supposed to be Darlington. Alright, so we're behind 75, Todd Bodine. He's a lap down. In front of him, we got Bobby Hamilton, Dale Jarrett. See who's at the very front. Harry Gant, of course. Harry's just doing awesome. He's going to be the guy to beat, I guess, this season. definitely be the car to beat. If we get the one to go this time. And yeah, not sure how the car is going to be. Can't quite see from the exterior view, but I don't think we've got a front fender, so it should be a interesting couple of laps. This is, of course, like an add-on car set for the game, so whoever made this must have loved Harry Gant. Yeah, was 1994 Harry Gant's last season? I think it might have been. So, we'll have to take it a little easy here. Two reasons. One, I don't know what the car is going to feel like, and two, we're behind about 36 cars right now, so things will be quite interesting. I had trouble avoiding one car, never mind 36. Green flag, sneaking up on me once again in third gear. A little slow, but that's going to be fine just to get off the line. Should be at least a couple other cars with damage, I'd imagine. That was a pretty big accident. Looks like Bobby Hamilton's one of those. We'll pass him. Hopefully, side by side. Whoa, car is sliding all around. Probably more to do with my line than anything. Throw it into turn 3 and 4. A lot of side-by-side action in front. They can hit each other too, so keep the eyes peeled for some smoke. Bobby Hamilton sweeping from the high side to the low. Sticking with the back of the pack here. I'm not giving it everything just yet, so see if we can make a couple passes down low into T1. Car is very nervous feeling now. Could be the cold tires. Darrell Waltrip wants to make things interesting there. Yeah, it's understeering coming into the corner, and then coming out feels a little loose. This time pushing the whole way through. Alright, see if we can make up a few positions and just generally avoid this chaos. Cars stacking up a little bit in front, let us get down low, sweep underneath, make a few spots up there. $13 laps to go, so just a little over halfway now. First half of the race, threw it away a bit there once again. I have to try to finish one of these without hitting anything, prove that I can do it. Yeah, 1994, Darrell Waltrip was still very cocky. It seems like around this time he started to realize that he wasn't the best in the world anymore. Everybody checking up in front, somehow just tapping the back of Dale Jarrett, but not sending him around. So we're stacked in behind Greg Sachs here, coming through 3 and 4. Not a lot I can do. Try to get a good run coming out of the corner. Maybe I can get on the low side. I got a car on the high side giving me a shunt. So on the apron coming into the turn, not a good place to be. Yellow flag is out, but we got to race back to the line. Oh, I lost a few spots there again. The heck went on there? Take a look at the replay in a second. Just come back around to get the yellow. Have to think something that we did there caused the yellow. All right, taking the yellow flag. Car going to the low side in front. We'll be going to the pit lane. Down to third gear here. All right, so we'll catch up to the back of the pack. Then I want to check out that replay. Hopefully a bunch of these guys pit. I don't think my tires... Yeah, they're a little worn, but nothing too bad. So let's take a look at the replay. So the car is hurt quite a bit. Yeah, it's looking more like a modified now. Alright, so I think this is right before it happened. I don't think that was me, but where's the yellow flag coming from? Coming into the corner. Interesting. That was not me. I wonder where the yellow flag happened. I mean, there wasn't anything in front of me, right? Let's see if we can jump around and find... Let's keep it on Bobby Hamilton, see if he sees anything. Everybody's wig-wagging. I mean, I wonder if me going below the apron there caused the yellow. Because I don't see any kind of crash. That's interesting. Yeah, and there's no need to save fuel here. We just got 9 laps to go, and I've got 17 gallons left. Alrighty. So hopefully this one's, if there wasn't a crash, it should just be a pretty quick yellow. The yellows do change depending on how many cars were wrecked. See who we still got up front. Harrigan, of course. It feels like the leaders don't like to pass each other, honestly. We got 2 cars out, Derek Cope, Brett Bodine. That could have also been just like a breakdown somewhere or something. Unrelated. Might be a good thing to have things calm down for a second. Yeah, one of those NASCAR debris cautions. TV cautions. I think things were exciting enough. I'm not sure if that was needed. Harry is probably running away with it again. Right. So hopefully we get the 1 to go this time, because there'll only be a few laps left, and I feel like the car still got a little speed. What did I get up to there? Like 31st? Looks like we'll have to go around even one more time. The long cautions are nice when you're doing a long race because they give you a chance to relax, but if you're doing these short races and there's a lot of cautions, then you end up running the whole thing under yellow. So coming around, we'll see, hopefully get the 1 to go. One lap till green. All right. Single file restarts in these days, of course. Although they would have had lapped cars come up the inside if they wanted to try to get their lap back. It's an interesting thing to watch. Especially early in these races, the guys used to like give them their laps back and stuff. It's a far cry from NASCAR today. Very cutthroat now. It kind of was a little bit of a club back in the 80s and 90s. Alright, so we're going to get a green flag early, and I don't think I can pass before the start-finish line, but I want to be right there. We just got a few laps to go. Stuck in behind Bobby Hamilton after wrecking ourselves out of a potential top 10, I think. I'll blame Brett Bodine for that, but I could have avoided it. Green flag, full throttle then, up to 3rd gear. Ted Musgrave going to try to sneak down the inside. No, thank you. pass him before the start finish line. Side by side though, take the inside from Bobby Hamilton into turn 1. Car, cold tires a little bit. It's gonna be snaking around the circuit. All right, making through the first corner, always a good sign. Down into turns 3 and 4, field way out wide in front of us. Pick up a few spots maybe. Dale Jarrett squeezing me in. Let's get around Greg Sachs though, as now will fly. Finish that lap, just 5 laps to go. All right. What line to pick? That's really the question. The low side is definitely the one working for me. Sneak in behind Darrell Waltrip here. Keeping it tight down low, pushing quite a bit. Has to be the lack of downforce on the front from all the fenders being removed. And I think I'm a little slower down the straightaway than I used to be. Probably could have taken maybe some spoiler out of it to speed things up. Just come across the line, got the position on Dale Jarrett then. See if we can pick up a couple more spots here. Turns 3 and 4. Oh yeah, they're getting checked up in front. Get around Lake Speed then, side by side, coming out of the turn. Pinning us down low, but able to make the move. Just 2 laps to go up to P28, so recovering a little bit. Stuck in behind Kyle Petty now. One of the best paint schemes of all time. The Mellow Yellow 42. Last lap of the race. See if I can set myself up for another good turn. 3-4 here. Yeah, Lake Speed. Lake Speed is one of the best names of all time. But coming into turns 3-4. Oh, Kyle squeezing me. I didn't want to do the same thing as I did with Brett Bodine, so I got on the brakes a bit, lost a little speed, but we'll come out to finish up Darlington, P28. So I gave away that one for sure. That's 100% on me not being patient. I think could have got a top 10 here. Could have got a top 10. Could have, should have. But we'll see what we get. Once again, the dejected crew pushing the car towards the garages. The man next to my window looks so sad. He's a very sad man. All right, so we'll see what we got from Darlington. So 28th, I think that's where I finished as well at Richmond. Obviously, that was the last position at Richmond. So 79 points to us, and we'll see the first place, which I'm gonna guess was Mr. Harrigant once again. So 3 wins for him on the season. Led every lap, and like I said, it feels like the leaders don't like to pass a lot, which is one of the interesting things here. But now take a look at the championship. So P29 now. I think we lost a position in the championship, which is no good. 383 points to Jimmy Spencer passed us, I believe. We'll take a look at the top, but we know what that's going to look like. Harry Gant now. He's going to be unbeatable if he continues this winning streak up. We're going into the short track part of the season, though. Next season race, yes please. All right, so we got Bristol next. Bristol is an interesting one as well in this sim, as it's concrete. So this would have been one of the first seasons that the concrete racetrack was used. I think it was repaved in 93 to 94, so it's the concrete version, the old concrete. The stands are not fully built up around, as you can see from the little graphic there. It's not, it's still a little bit of the old circuit with the hills around it. But in this game, I think it's got way too much banking. But we'll see what we can do here. So we're gonna do some practicing, load our fast setup, and take a quick look at how everything is set. We'll have to do some a run and then see if we want to adjust anything. Full downforce for sure. We'll do some practice here. So this is going to be one of those races where there's not many cars. So we got 33 total cars. And a lot of this is going to be just AI avoidance. Hopefully the default setup here is pretty good. And yeah, I think this is too much banking. Gives the good impression though. What a drastic difference from Darlington. High banks, short track. Yeah, and I think the main part of Bristol will want some speed, but it's mainly going to be AI avoidance. A test in the tricky AI. So we'll just try to get some laps in. I want to take a look at the tires. The thing pushes mid-turn quite aggressively. Definitely, I don't know if the AI do this, but at least with the setup I have, the thing runs up a lot mid-turn and then you can kind of scoop it back down. That was a little dramatic that time. Oh, onto the apron. Don't want to be doing that. So we're going to have, probably Steve Grissom again, trying to come around our outside. Yeah, this car feels pretty awful. All right, 21 there. See if I can maybe put a tidy lap around, keeping it around the bottom. See if that gives us a little better speed. I think I'm scrubbing off quite a bit running high like this. There we go. Alright, so we're going to need to change. I think we're going to have to change quite a lot on the car to make it somewhat competitive. Picked up a little speed, got into the 120s. Let the 21 car by, even though he almost tried to wreck us coming out of the pits. Morgan Shepherd there racing for the Wood brothers. Yeah, this is full-on Winston Cup with the red and white. They basically would give a bucket of red and white paint to the tracks and say, make it look like our brand. That's why everything was red and white in these days. Terry Labonte and the classic Kellogg's number 5. Very famous at Bristol. He won with a very wrecked race car after, I think, getting into it with Dale Earnhardt. Late one race. Shepherd aggressively pulling into the pit lane there, trying to get every 10th. Picking up a little speed that time by, but not super good yet. Alright, so I want to take a look at the tires here in a minute. Car like gets into the corner fine and then pushes a little wide. A little too wide. So we're all the way at the bottom of the timesheet, but have not started adjusting the car yet. So we'll see. I do want to. I'm running this one a little longer because I want the AI to set the pace so that I know what to look for. Won't have to do quite as long on the next runs. Take a quick look. Okay, so a little hot on the right front. That'll help us to fix that. That's probably why we're understeering so much mid corner. Surprising to see the left rear too hot. Yeah, if we actually ran it like this in the race, we might blow it. Alright, best lap there though. See if camber wise things actually look okay. Pretty even temperatures. But we will need to raise the tire pressure in the right front, stop it from overheating. If we can transition some of the weight too to the rear, I think that'll help get us on the right rear. So I want to go down a little bit, tire pressure right rear, up right front, down a smidge on the left rear. See if I can maybe change some of the shocks too. Alright, so jump out into the garage. Right front is going to blow. Alright, so we're going to raise tire pressures quite a lot there. Right rear, want her to heat up a little bit more. That might be a little too aggressive. Left front, oop, skipped one. Left rear, that's fun. Funny, I've never seen it. Never seen it that hot. We'll give it just a little more. I think changing some of the weight's gonna fix that a bit. And then left front, of course, useless as always. Go down. Stagger, we're good there. Spoilers, I want all of the downforce. Suspension though, camber-wise, things look pretty good with at least the way the car's set up. Weight-wise, left bias. I don't know why this wouldn't be all the way. We want all the weight to the left. Rear bias, I'm going to put a little bit more weight to the rear. I'll go up to 48 and see how that feels. And then shock-wise, yeah, they like really peg these shocks. I'm going to actually lower. I was reading, somebody left a comment, and I wish I could remember who it was, but if you do change some of these, make the rear end a little stiffer, it'll help transfer the weight, what it seems. Left front. All right, so let's see what that does. This might understeer a bit, but we'll see if we can pick up. So I got to like a 121, so it's just a couple positions off slowest. Just got really confused seeing the 22 Labonte, but I guess that would have been Bobby Labonte, right? Back in '94. Alright, so I don't want to do anything too dramatic here. Let's just see if the car drives a little differently now. Do a handful of laps, get up to temperatures, and then see if we got it. And it already seems a little easier to keep on the bottom. First lap out, almost as quick as our quickest time already. Bodes well. Just to avoid everybody coming out of the pits. It seems like once everybody gets on track, things are not the worst. Just got to try to figure out a way that I don't have to slow this thing down to a crawl to keep it on the bottom of the track. 23 car scaring me a little bit on the bottom side. Hey, 22.4. $22.5 up to 29th. I'll have to take a peek at what the quickest guys are doing. See how far off we are. Love if I could get this car to be in the top 10 like we were in the last race. 23.2. Somehow that didn't improve position. We've gained like 2 miles an hour and we're still right at the back of the pack. Slowly crawling up the timesheets. Okay, so overall definitely better, but we're gonna have to do a little bit more work. And I'm hopeful that maybe Wilkesboro and Martinsville, which are the other two tracks coming up, are both really small tracks as well. They're gonna need quite different setups. I was hoping we could maybe reuse some of what we're doing here, but just take a quick peek. All right, tires are still overheating. Not quite as bad this time, but both rears now. So I went a little too aggressive on the right rear. Need to do a little bit more to the right front, left rear. Get that real-time telemetry in NASCAR. We're cheating a little bit there. So we're losing a little speed because of the overheating. So right front, right rear, left rear, all overheating. Right front is overheating the worst. Car still feels a little tight, so we'll change a few more things. So right front, go up a little bit more. We're maxed out there. Right rear. Left rear. All right. The left front was the only one that was a little cooler. See if we can go down a little bit more there. Stagger. Keep that the same. And I'm going to go back. I'm going to go a little more aggressive with the shocks. Hope this is stimulating to watch some setup action before the race. Yeah, I know I can reduce the fuel, but that's, I don't know exactly how much we're burning, so things will be a little harder to calculate that way. All right, let's see what we got now. So let me just take a peek too while we're coming out of the pits here. We need to get to a 126 if we have a hope of winning this thing. Ooh, almost over revving a little bit there. Alright, sliding quite far up the racetrack, but jumped a little loose on the exit, which has not happened yet. Ooh. See if this is a little quicker this time. Basically, the default setups are way too tight, even the quote-unquote fast setup. So, not quite getting up there. The tire temperatures so far look pretty good. Should hopefully help the car just get a little quicker as I go. All right, these two coming out of the pit's gonna make me run a little wide, smack the wall a little bit. So the car's still pushing mid-corner quite a bit. Left rear is starting to heat up quite a bit. Same with the right front. This might be one of those circuits that's like impossible to make the tires not overheat. But if we remove some of the push from the car, it might just help that naturally. Everybody's checking up. If that happens during the race, that'd be scary but good. So I basically just need to figure out a way to get the car to push less. Could potentially use the wedge. If I can back up the corner a little bit. Yeah, it was a little high that time through. I think this will be a 50 lap race, but it'll go super quick. It's a tiny track, half mile. So we're just about equaling the best lap, but we're doing it on almost every lap. So the car is getting quicker, but clearly not quick enough since we're dead last. Rudd flying to the outside there in the 10 Tide car. Our nemesis, Brett Bodine. Whoop. Hit Ted Musgrave there. That's going to cause a huge pileup. The cars love. Oh, and here's the pileup I talked about. Yeah, and Tony, what you're saying, that the AI is just unrealistically good at some tracks, is super true, because I believe Martinsville has the opposite problem, where the AI are actually quite slow, or at least I'm crossing my fingers, but would like to get more competitive here. Although I'm passing lots of cars, so it might be one of those things where on like a good lap, the AI do really fast times, but then they get stuck behind traffic. We'll be able to weave through like this, as long as we can stay away from hitting anybody. Because I'm passing tons of cars, but maybe an outright pace where not quite as quick. The high line this time. Oh, just getting tapped from behind. It's going to be a little bit of a destruction derby, this one. There is no spotter in NASCAR 1, which is definitely to our detriment, but not something we can really turn on. So, car is not quick, but I'm feeling fairly good about how it feels in traffic. So right front, we can't go up anymore. We're just gonna have to fix the what we'll do here, go up a little bit more. We're just gonna have to fix how tight the car is. That'll correct that a little bit. Give this one a little more pressure. All right, stagger. I'm just gonna do maybe one more round of adjustments here. We'll have to see how fair. Camber-wise, I think things are good. Weight, left, rear, cross. Explain cross weight. Let me open the manual. Weights. Cross weight option is specific weight transfer. It enables you to place weight over a specific wheel. This kind of setting is good if the racetrack you'll be competing at has lots of left-hand corners. Okay. The setting enables you to place, say, weight over the left rear wheel and make turning at high speed much easier. It's not the best description. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Let's see what this does first of all. Let's go down to like 105 pounds. I love the measurement scales here. They're just very American. This might make it worse, but I just want to see what that adjustment does exactly, and then we will see how the car feels. I think in traffic we're going to be okay, because the cars, they have a tough time avoiding each other, and so as long as we can keep the pace up and avoid everybody, that'll be the trick, won't it? Alright, let's do a few laps before this track gets filled up. Oh, quite a lot of push there, so might be the wrong way to go with the cross weight. That felt a lot better though. Feels okay getting into the corner. Tires are still cold though, so let's give it a few more laps. Hey, there's our quickest time. Could also be practice. Doing more laps, you'll just naturally get quicker, so you might fool yourself into thinking a setup change made the car better, but you're just on new tires and have more experience driving. Yeah, but things are definitely quicker. 125 up to 6th. Okay, let's just do a little bit of a run here, make sure things don't overheat like crazy, and I think I might have found it. I think we might have found it. To the top of the timesheets. It's crazy how just a little bit of a change makes you feel like a genius. Yeah, the car looks looser, but it really doesn't feel it. I'm not having any corrections to keep the car pointed in the right direction. Whoa, diving onto the apron. Sneak it out the outside there. Have to use a little bit of the wall to help us. This track, you can get a little bit of damage and things will be okay. As long as I don't hurt the suspension or the engine, damaging the wheel or the engine, we should be good. Oh, Mark Martin unseating my quick time. So it'll be competitive. I'm running a little high just to avoid everybody. Tire temperatures look a little more under control because the car's not nearly as tight as it was before. So I might raise the right rear just a little bit more, but overall we're looking pretty good. And we're catching Rusty Wallace, which means we're pretty quick because he's supposed to be good around here. Yeah, I'd agree with Alonso. It's things are looking good, and Ted definitely helped out with the advice on the dead zone there. It feels so much more responsive than it did before. By adding just a little bit of a line to the DOS box config, the wheel is much easier. Yeah, we're just making inroads on these guys. Dave Marcus almost spinning out Ted Musgrave there. Poor Ted in practice. I spun him out once. Marcus spinning him out. Almost spinning him out. All right, so I mean, I think things feel pretty good. I don't want to jinx myself by saying I could win, but we're second fastest, and in traffic, as long as I can stay out of trouble, it feels pretty good. So why don't we park it here? I'm going to make one last adjustment to the tires on the left rear and just give it a couple more PSI, make sure we don't overheat that super bad. And I'm going to save this. That's the Axel setup. All right, so now we'll do our quick qualifying. I believe it's still just one lap around here, so I will lower my fuel. It'll be a very quick qualifying. looks like pole 125, so dare I say we could do it. I think the pit lane speed is still 55 miles an hour here. They only programmed one pit road speed into the whole sim, so it's a little fast for a Bristol. Alright, so we'll come around, take the green flag, try to just get a nice lap. Oh, car, it's cold tires, so we're going to run a little wide. Making it nicely through turns 3 and 4. We'll come across the line. 125.1 P6. We'll be starting on the outside again, which is terrifying, but at least it's a pretty good starting spot. So P6 from our qualifying there. All right, so I'm going to take a very, very quick break, but we'll be back in just a second with the Bristol Calamity race. Hopefully no calamities. All right, just wanted to grab a little water. So, the Food City 500. Now, because I love history, I just want to look real quick at the real race. The Food City 500 won by Dale Earnhardt. So 2 in a row for Mr. Earnhardt in 1994. Ken Schrader second, Lake Speed third. Lake Speed third, wow. I think Lake Speed for us is starting very far back. So not quite the Lake Speed we saw in real life. Pretty interesting. The pole speed for the real race was a 124.9. Not even a second off, or a mile per hour off. So who says this sim is not extremely accurate? Just read real quick if anything important happened. Final top 10 race for Dave Marcus, the NASCAR legend. Seems like there was a big pileup. So a classic race at Bristol. All right, so we're going to be doing our Bristol race here. Just get out of the standings menu. Go to the garage. I always fear I'm going to forget to put fuel back in. We could probably do less fuel before everybody starts screaming at me for that, but it's I don't have the time to calculate it. So it's going to be a 50-lap race around Bristol. I'm going to be starting towards the front, but we're going to be on the outside. So like the last one, a little bit of survival at the start and then patience as we start to work through. We're definitely going to hit lap traffic on this one. So it should be quite interesting. All right, but let's get started here. Food City 500 at Bristol. We'll keep it on the standings. Just do one pace lap. We can maybe warm the tires. I want to make sure the car might be a little nervous on the start, so I want to make sure to play it nice and easy. I should have tried a couple laps where I rode around the top of the circuit knowing that it probably was going to happen in the race. I don't think I had practiced a single lap around the high side. So hopefully the car doesn't just get loose and throw me into the wall or something. Like with the last one too, if something silly happens with the AI on like lap 1, we'll just restart. But if it's my fault, we'll keep it. Pace car's pulling off, green flag right away. Past the pace car to the outside as we come to the green. Thrown into 4th gear, down into turn 1. Harry Gant, the championship leader, flies down the inside and now able to hopefully get in my line. So working to the bottom of the circuit. Real life, everybody would have been just right around the bottom here. Jeff Gordon riding the wall on the front straightaway. See if we can make a move on him here, pushing a little bit, cold tires. Settling in now behind Mark Martin. And settle we will. Well, if they give me the line, I'll go for it, but I'm thinking opportunities will arise as we hit lap traffic. These guys trying the high line. Ooh, car very nearly getting around on me there. So P5, this is best I've been, I think, in any race so far. Just want to play it easy till we hit that lap traffic and see if we can take advantage here. Just about keeping pace with these guys though, so the car's got enough speed, I think. Pulling in a little bit on Gant. No funny business though. Yeah, and it's going to be very hard to pass if lap cars don't come into it, but there they are. What are we? Not even 10 laps in, and I can see the end of the pack. Oh, Gant slides out wide. See if I can keep it on the low side. Make it past Gant there. So chalk one up for Axel. Bubbles to the 4th position. 41 laps to go. Ken Schrader in the lead. Dale Earnhardt, we got Ernie Irvan in front. Car sliding a little wide. I wonder if I'm overheating a little bit. A lot of push and running very fast laps, but here we come. Some slower cars. Dale Earnhardt on the high side. Ernie Irvan making a move on him. Dale Earnhardt sliding out wide. The Intimidator has been intimidated. Able to make our way around as everybody tries to navigate this lap traffic. Well, it's just going to be so easy to hit one of these cars as they're going to be all over the circuit. Working our way low on Bobby Labonte here. Up to 2nd position. How did that happen? I guess I did pass those two, and Ken Schrader in the green car ahead of us is the leader. It's working out how I thought it might. So far, we're still very early in this one. Bobby Hamilton on the outside. Whoa, car getting a little loose there, hopping off the corner. It's amazing how much, even with this like rigid old physics engine, the thing still responds like a car. It's primitive, but this is pretty awesome stuff. So I can see the leader in front of us. 35 laps to go. We've done the first 15 already. Blink of an eye. Super quick race. Ernie Irvan's apparently behind me in the standings, but Ken Schrader ran a little wide that time. Able to catch right up to him now. He's going to try to do something I would not do and shove it on the low side behind a lapped car. Playing it nice and easy here. I got 33 laps to try to make this move. Doesn't matter how much you win by, just that you're in front at the finish line. Oh, Ken Schrader on the outside. That's what I'm going to need him to do. I can throw it up the inside then if he does that. Oh, he's going to squeeze me down. We're stuck behind these two lap cars that are battling each other. So coming to T, whatever corner, 3 or 1. Coming out then, yeah, we'll complete another lap. Out of turn 4, Schrader all over the circuit. Want to get back down to the low side. Don't want anybody coming up under me. Oh, stacked up behind this lapped car here. Coming out of turn 4, side by side for the lead. Try to keep it nice and tidy on the bottom, making the move for the lead. Oh. Taking the lead then, 28 laps to go, getting close to halfway. There's no relative timer in this sim, wasn't implemented yet, so we just got the static standings. All right, just nice and smooth laps, pulling out a little bit, I think, from Schrader. We just have to play it easy in the lap traffic. Slow entry, let the car roll through. And get on the gas on the exit. Just don't want to spin the car loose. It does feel like it's loosening up a little bit as the fuel burns. Hopefully able to keep the speed up because we do have the lead. Not sure who's in front of us here. Yeah, the AI will crash. I think we had one at Atlanta. The AI caused the wreck. They crash less than you would crash into them for sure. The 90 car in front of us here. Is that Dick Trickle? Sliding out wide. We'll see if we can grab it on the low side. Every time I pass an AI car, I get nervous. They're just going to slam into my door. Schrader right behind me now, but finally breaking into these lapped cars. And if I keep the low side, he won't be able to get there. And I don't think he'll be able to make a pass around the outside. So we're in full conservative mode. Just get to the finish line. We got the lead. Oh, these two in front, hitting each other. Marcus on the outside. The legend. See if we can sneak it on the inside of Marcus, but he's gonna block me, of course. Sometimes the AI bounce off the front straightaway wall and make it impossible to pass them. Dave Marcus really does not want to go a lap down. Classic NASCAR tactics here. Am I making the move finally around Dave? All right, we got Rudd in front of us now. Oh, making a really nice turn 4 there. If you get the car right, the weight right, the thing turns beautifully. I swear we're seconds from disaster with any of these lapped cars. Just taking all the time in the world. I don't need to rush. I've gained about 1.5 seconds then on Ernie Irvin. So Irvin's gotten around Schrader for second. slow exit to the corner with Ricky Rudd. Irvin pulling up a little bit behind me, but make the move on Rudd then, using the apron a little bit just to make sure we stay low. Whew, making around him. All right, we got a little bit of space here. Any lap car that I pass, the AI has to pass as well, so it'll help us out a little bit. Let's take a look. The right front's overheating a little, but tire wear looks good. Just need to put in the laps then. 12 laps to go. Sneaking up on this 31. Oh man. Happy to have backed out of it there. You really got to get side by side for the AI to realize that you're going to have that corner. Like that. And coming up now to Rick Mast, shades of Richmond in my mind. Just take our time. We got a 2.5 second lead. Oh, smacking the wall. I think that's my first time hitting it. Oh, these two in front, I'll let them sort it out between themselves. Jimmy Spencer and Rick Mast. Oh, we'll get below Rick Mast there. Thankfully let us go. Jimmy Spencer from my neck of the woods, modified racer from the Northeast. An interesting character, I would say that. These two in front slowing up dramatically. They're slowing behind Loy Allen. Five laps to go. Oh my God, and the cars in front just all over the track. But this is good. We could maybe put a lap on the guy in front of us in the championship. Whoa, Spencer coming down low. Let him go here. Almost into me coming out of the turn. There's just certain places that you don't want to try to pass the AI here. They're just not smart enough sometimes. 3 laps to go. Really just need to coast around now. I'm not going to try anything too crazy. Wouldn't honestly be too unrealistic. If you've got a good lead, your crew chief or spotter would be telling you you got no pressure behind, so just keep a nice smooth line, let these guys sort out whatever they're sorting out between themselves. 2 laps to go then. Come to the line here to get the white flag, I believe. Oh, these two in front, come on now. Just babying the car around then. Ernie Irving closing up a little bit, but not going to be enough, I don't think. Just now, one more corner to go. Floating it through 3 and 4. As we'll come to the line, get the checkered flag and win at Bristol, the day race 500. Food City 500 there. First one of the season from wreckers to checkers. We maybe on an upswing. This is the first of the 3 short tracks. Oh yeah. We'll come to the line here. I think this deserves a little celebration. Now, an interesting quirk about NASCAR 1 is there's no way to easily do a burnout, but let's see if I can even spin the car around as we'll avoid Ted Musgrave. Yeah, there's no way to do a burnout. And it was something they added in NASCAR 2 because they people would complain about getting stuck in pit lane. You're not able to light the tires up to spin out to get out of your pits. So they added like this weird pseudo burnout thing that it doesn't work right. But taking the win there. And there he is, Mr. Axel Richardson, crossing the finish line. Take a good look at that. That might be the only time we see it all season. Hopefully many more to come. Many more to come, I hope. All right. So let's take a look then at what this means. And the whole team in victory lane. There's your first look at the man himself, Bubbles, Axel Richardson Jr., with the whole team behind. All right. Alrighty. Okay, so let's take a look at the points and everything. So Axel Richardson Jr., aka Bubbles, taking the win away from Ernie Irvan. So interestingly enough, I think this race would have actually had some passing, even if we were not at the front of the pack. But Ken Schrader, the pole sitter, finishing third. Morgan Shepherd, wow, that's a good race for him, starting 13th all the way up to 4th position. Harry Gant, the championship leader, coming in down to 5th place. So we're going to collect 185 points. We led 29 of the laps. See if there's any DNFs or anything notable at the bottom. I don't think so. Oh, a few do not starts, of course. Yeah, these would be the guys that did not qualify, I guess. The way it works in NASCAR 1 is purely based off the driver roster, so there's no like qualifying to see the quickest car or anything like that. Just so happens the bottom of the driver roster is just not going to make the race. But good stuff. All right, points championship up to 23rd now, so I think I was down in like 29th after the last race, but that win, first top 5, first top 10, pulling us up to 23rd in the points. So we're starting that upswing, and it's right at the beginning of this short tracks part of the season, so hopefully can do a couple more good things. Take a look at the top though. Harry Gant did not get the win, but he's still out front. I think his lead closed up just a little bit. Jeff Bonide had a good finish. More top 10s, I guess, than Harry Gant. Consistency is how you win. You can see Dale Earnhardt has not won a race, but he's finished top 10 in all of the races, so he's 3rd right now. All right, next season race. So we're going to the Classic Circuit, North Wilkesboro. All right, so this is one of those short tracks. Everybody knows North Wilkesboro, the track which NASCAR unfortunately left. So we'll see. So I almost don't even want to go out on the track before adjusting things, because I know some of the stuff we'll have to do. So let's take a quick look at the suspension and everything. The cambers we won't know till we run. I want to try to shorten this practice and get some more racing. Make sure everything's all the way left. It is. Rear bias. Well, it's already pretty far rear. Bristol, we were at under 50%. Do a little bit more. Cross weight, we're at 0 neutral here. Okay, we'll see what that does. Shocks, we're going to soften right front, right rear. Ooh, it's already pretty stiff. Some of the setups are better than some of the other ones at certain circuits, even the default. All right, so let's see what this does. Do a little practice here. We're not going to even be able to get out of the pit lane. Well, hitting Rick Mast a little bit. He won't be able to practice now. All right, so North Wilkesboro, famous for having a sloped front and back stretch. I believe it would go downhill into turn 1 and uphill into turn 3. And we'll see how it looks here on NASCAR 1. Yep, we're definitely going uphill a little bit. Yeah, it's funny how off, Darlington is, for example, and then you come here and, it's obviously not perfect, but it's a much closer representation than some of the others. This is a much trickier track than Bristol was, so we'll see what we can do here. Car turning nicely, though. And don't want to get it wrong coming out of there. The pit wall is like right there on the inside. It'd be pretty easy to spear the car. I'm using DOSBox ECE, which Ted Meat also recommended. But it works well. I don't know the exact difference between the regular DOSBox and DOSBox ECE. Other than that, ECE has been developed more, but it runs these Papyrus sims really well. A lot of half throttle here, just rolling the car through. Honestly, this track-wise, I think it's going to be similar to Richmond, which practice I was very good with Richmond, so we'll see how we are here. A couple of laps behind these cars, but I'm definitely quicker than at least a few of these guys. Ooh, a lot of oversteer coming out of the corner. Musgrave here as it comes out of the pits. So this will be another case too of lap traffic will definitely come into play. This is a short half-mile, or maybe a little longer than half-mile oval. Yeah, the AI are going to be a little quicker here, but remember at the start of Bristol practice I was like 3 miles an hour off, and a few of the changes we made got us right up to the front and be able to take the win. Nowhere to go here. I'm not able to set quick laps yet just because of the AI jockeying around in front of me. Let's see what we can do here. Come out of the fourth turn. Oh, hitting Musgrave a little bit. Musgrave's gonna hate us. Every single practice session, somehow I come in contact with him. Oh, that's going to cause a huge pileup on the front straightaway. I was hoping to do a few more laps to see how the tires are doing, but that left front is ice cold. Oop, almost over revving there. We'll see, take it a little tentatively here. There might be a big pileup on the front straightaway. No, okay. Well, we'll apologize to Musgrave after the practice session. See what this car can do. So the tires overall pretty cold, but I was playing around half throttle there. Left front, we're just gonna go like as low as we can go with the tire pressure. Try to pick up any grip we can off of it. Car pushes out of the corner, yeah, and into the wall. Damaged wheel. All right. Well, let's see what we got for the tires. So right front, I blew it up, but it wasn't overheating, so we'll go down a little bit. Right rear, same deal. Left rear, go down a little bit more. And left front, how low can we go? Why was it at 50 psi? Try 35. All right, let's do some more laps like this. Can't even really get a gauge on the old cambers or anything until we get the tires heated up. All right. interesting circuit this. It was part of the add-on pack for NASCAR, so it was developed later than the original circuit, so another reason why it might be a tad bit more accurate. Ooh, a little loose there. Take a little grass coming out of the second turn. All right, so the left front is working a little bit now, at least 115. Might be a reason too that the default setup for this track is a bit better, because it was a part of the track pack. It's going to be a harder race than Bristol for sure, especially if we don't pull something out and qualify right at the front. Oh, 109 though, much quicker. Let's see where that puts us. Well, maybe we will start from the front. Yeah, the left front, I don't know if there's going to be any making that work better. As long as I get the other three doing something, then it'll be good. Alright, so the car feels pretty good, but I'm not like dramatically quicker than this car in front, and the tires are still not really heating up. I got Musgrave. Why am I always behind him? In practice. I'm sorry, dude, I don't want to hit you, but you always put your car there. Be convinced he'll try to take me out sooner or later. Just gotta figure out a way that I'm gonna be able to pass cars here too, because see if I can go into one. Use Musgrave as the guinea pig, able to make the pass on the low side. So I am quicker, but it is tough to pass around here because the corners are so long. And if I don't hit that wall at some point during the race, we'll be lucky. So the right front's actually in a good spot, temperature-wise. It's the right rear, and left front's just a lost cause. But it might be okay because we're fairly quick. Back up the corner quite a bit, get a nice run out. Was this Jeff Purvis in the 51? See if we can sneak it up the inside. Running pretty late into the corner, but he's working his way back, and I'm blocked a little bit from taking a good low line here by the 23. This is going to be a difficult race for sure. Spinning out. Yeah, I think we might have to put, I don't know, more pressure in the left front. Usually it would go down to raise the temp, but at some point it becomes less effective. It's all going to be about qualifying. Passing here is going to be hard to do. I'm going to do one more run. I'm going to go just up to 40 psi. See if that does anything. Otherwise, I mean, it's not perfect car, but it doesn't feel too bad. To back up to get out of the pit lane. That's what I was talking about too, with them adding the ability to spin the wheels to get out of a pit stall. You can't do that in this sim. There's no way to spin the wheels. All right, so we'll see. If things feel good on this run, we'll go to the next session. So at least so far, I know the Bristol race later in the year, although it'll be at night, and it is at night in the sim, but it's one I'll circle as a potential win. And keep in mind too, as we go to these tracks for the second time in the season, won't have to work on the setup nearly as much, especially at these ones now that I understand a little bit more how it's working. Car getting a little squirrely coming off the corner. Got Hut Strickland in front of us, I think. So if I can get a good run out of turn 4 and not get a little loose like that, I could potentially squeeze up the inside in turn 1 if somebody's not coming out of the pits like that. Whoa. Car very loose there. Spencer running back up the inside. Oh, car is a little loose. Tires are much more even on the right side now, but take a while to come up to temperature. I wonder if that was one of the characteristics of this track. I think the weather in this sim is static, so it's always the same temperature. Whoop, smacking the wall there. Not going to do too good for my speed, but yeah, overall, I mean, car feels all right. It's just going to be hard to pass, so have to make sure I get a good qualifying, but we'll see. I'm not sure how to feel about this one. It's gonna be interesting. So why don't we do the qualifying session now? Lower the fuel once again, and I'm actually gonna make sure I save this setup. All right, so we'll do qualifying. It's gonna end up being a 40-lap race. So what do we got? Pole time. Oh man, that's not good. Harry Gant really pulled one out there with the qualifying. 1:11. So based off my practice speed, we're gonna be lucky to get into the top 20, which is not what I was hoping for, but I'll see what I can do lap wise. See what we can do here to just put together a good lap, but cold tires and one lap opportunity. Take the green flag here for qualifying, throw it into turn 1, just try to keep it nice and tidy, get back on the throttle as soon as I can, a little bit of on throttle oversteer, car wagging around into turn 3, pushing a little bit on entry, see if we can bring it back around to get a good exit. Towards the line, oh, smacking the wall. Man, 107.7 for a P28. So the car definitely comes alive a little bit over the run, but yeah, we're right at the back. 33 cars, so not last, but not as far up as I wanted for this one. So it's going to be a 40-lap race. It's going to be an exercise in patience, I think, to line up the passes for T1 and see how well See how well I can do that. So why don't we get started here, North Wilkesboro. Oh, and I don't want to forget, let's see who won the real one. Just get a little context. Terry Labonte won the first Union 400 at North Wilkesboro from Rusty Wallace, and Ernie Irvin looks like he led most of the race. Wow, most of the cars actually finished too. 36 total cars and only 3 DNFs. Pretty wild for NASCAR back in the day. All right, so why don't we get started here with the first Union 400 at North Wilkesboro. Round, 7 of our championship. We're starting on the outside, way in the back. Got a lot of work to do here. If I can keep it clean, which is pretty much the key to all of these races, that will be good. Start behind Darrell Waltrip and our buddy Steve Grissom. Got Ted Musgrave in front of us. I don't think I've hit him during a race yet, but like every practice session, we've hit Ted. All right, so coming to take the green. The green flag will probably come out early as always. Green, there we go. Oh, a car getting loose. I think I murdered Darrell Waltrip behind me, or what was that, Ricky Rudd? Oh man, we'll try to come around. I don't know what happened. Everybody's stacked up. I want to take a look at the replay, but I'm fairly confident I smushed Ricky Rudd into that pit wall right off the start. All right, so completing one lap, we lost one position. Let's see what happened there on the start. Seems like everybody just got stacked up a little bit. We'll keep it on Rudd. So there he is. Started right behind me. Or a couple cars behind me. Yeah, that's gonna be my fault, I think. Oh. And stacked up with Bobby Hamilton as well. Okay, well, chalk that up for one on the one on the hit list, I guess, for Axel Richardson. Yeah, rip indeed. All right, so we'll do a few slow caution laps. This will actually help a little bit, I think, because it's going to mean we're taking a single file start, which on a track with limited space, we're going to be further behind the leaders, but things should hopefully sort themselves out quicker. One pro tip too with following the AI, never follow them directly because they'd like to check up. So if you're like a lane higher is a good idea. All right, so just one lap to green. They're able to clean up the remains of Ricky Rudd a lot quicker than I was thinking. Yeah, this is payback, I guess, for him blocking me so hard at Bristol, right? I did not mean to shove him into the wall. The car just got a little loose. Lucky I avoided it myself. That's like one of my fears here is I'm going to hit that little pit wall. All right, so coming around, the green flag is going to come out, I think, at any second here. We're about a whole straightaway behind the leader just from the start. Ricky's a pretty resilient guy. I think he'll be fine. Green flag, though. Third gear. Whoa, car very loose. Spinning out. Going to throw another caution there for us, I think. I hope. See if we can make sure we stay on the lead lap. Why did that happen? So, messy start. After the win, we're going from hero to zero. That was a very strange, I don't know if the car just got a little upset getting on the throttle where I did. Should be able to pass the pace car, right? Well, let's see. Do we have any tire wear to speak of? Like, very minimal on the right rear, but why not? Dead last. So, probably will pit, but I'm going to come around here to catch the end of the pack. That's the end of the pack right there. So let's go into the pit lane. Just change the tires, fix any damage if it had it. Hopefully stay on the lead lap here. Should just be changing the 4 tires. If we go a lap down, this is going to be not so pretty. All right, leaving the pits, staying on the lead lap, thankfully. So 34 laps to go, P31. It's all up from here. Literally could not be doing worse right now. Taking out Ricky Rudd on the start. Spinning ourselves out on the restart to figure out what's going on. The car feels very loose. Oh, almost spinning out there too. We'll be at the back though, so we really can't can lay off a little bit, make sure we get the car under us. I think once the tires come up to temperature, we'll be okay. Things are very cold right now. Brand new tires though. All right, so let's cross our fingers this goes a little better this time. Green flag then. I'm taking it very tentatively through the corner. Why is the car so loose suddenly? Is it the tire temperatures completely? I don't know. You might not be able to tell, but there's that little rocking like that, which means the car is spinning. I mean, maybe I got a little damage from that, from the little run-in with Ricky Rudd there. All right, so we've fallen off the back of the pack. See if we can just put a few corners together, get the tires heated up, and hopefully that straightens things out. Turn 4 there is like the worst part. Yeah, and that's exactly what this sim is is like winning at one track, running away from it, and then the next you're just way off the pace. But I have to think it's the car set up a little bit here. I don't know why it didn't feel like this in practice. Just see what we can do. Nice and easy laps. Healthy rub on the wall there. So I'm closing in a little bit on these two in front, but not as much as I would need to do if we're going to rocket to the front of this thing. I guess there might be dynamic weather here, so potentially the weather's changed. I don't know where I would see what the conditions are to be able to like adjust my car setup or anything. Maybe on the standing screen before the race or something like that, but more and more complexity. The sim just had a lot of stuff going on in it, especially for the first one that they're doing for NASCAR. All right, so we've caught the end of the back of the pack, but how am I going to get around these guys? Car feels better now that the tires are up to temperature, so the restarts are very sketchy. Not going to be able to do it all in one lap here. Been able to get around Lake Speed potentially in a T1. We're on the high side though. slow car on the outside. Yellow flag is out again. It's a kind of a pointless run. See if I can pass maybe one car. Look, did I get him? I'm not sure if I got Lake. Or maybe we didn't even get the yellow flag yet. So confusing. Yeah, that was not the yellow lap. One car is going to go into the pits, though. I think it's Joe Nemechek coming out of the turn. All right. So yellow's out. We're P30. And I could pit again, but I honestly hoping the tires just stay warm-ish here. Maybe somebody else will pit for me. No, everyone's going to stay out. Oh, no, a few cars will come in. I'm going to stay out. So I think the track position... Ah, damn, they're not actually coming in. I was going to say the track position, I think, is more important than slightly newer tires here, especially where they're so cold. I'm just going to be losing heat this whole caution. I don't think there's any way really to heat them up while we're under yellow. I'll try to weave here to keep some temp in them. So, North Wilkesboro not going as well as Bristol. Could be going better, for sure. Alright, one lap to green, so we'll get back to green pretty quickly here, but we've lost a lot of that temperature in the tires, so hopefully I've got enough. They're a little warmer than they would be fresh on the car. Yeah, there is the whole story of what was that, Ricky Rudd's race with Larry McReynolds around North Wilkesboro and timing being messed up and somehow getting the win. Green flag though is out. Hopefully the car sticks for me in turns 3 and 4. Got one car behind, he should be damaged. Oh, sliding. A little power slide there through the 4th corner. Man, this car is terrible on cold tires. Yeah, I guess it was Brett Bodine, you're right. All right, coming out of the 4th corner then. So one lap helps now, put the little bit of temp back in. Oh, and I spoke a little too soon there, almost losing the car. This is frustrating to watch. It's even more frustrating to drive. Try to nice and gingerly get it through 3 and 4. Back up, tires are up to temperature then, so it's really just a figure out a way to get past these guys. Mike Wallace and Jeff Purvis in front of me, slapping the outside wall a little bit. See if we can make it 3 wide, getting a little desperate now. And able to make it stick into T1. All right. So if nothing else, I made that pass. Car feels like it did in practice now, so it's really just the cold tires that are terrible. here on the 15. Lake speed now. I'm coming alive a little bit. I don't want to speak too soon. Is that Rusty Wallace in front of us? He's having a terrible race. Right on the inside of Loy Allen here. Just like eggshells under the throttle. Working our way around Bobby Labonte, so the low line really good. I really hope there's no more yellows because this is turning out to go a little bit better for the long run. We got a long run car today. 11 laps to go, P24. So if I can pass a few more, get into the top 20 at least, it won't be a shameful race. Three and four are still like very sketchy here and there, just the car upsets itself. Smacking the wall a little bit, it's all right. Behind Steve Grissom now. Throwing it up the inside into turn one. Able to make it stick, get around Steve, then Dale Jarrett in front in that Interstate Batteries 18 car. My favorite of the Interstate schemes, the more simplistic, like lightning bolt design. Oh, and he's parking it in the middle of the track. Maybe he knows I do the low line. Rusty in front running wide though. Diving it into turn three. That could end so poorly. 2x2. Dale Jarrett slowing down, able to take advantage of that then too. So 7 laps to go, up to 22nd. Never give up, I guess. I guess that's what it means. We're not going to get a win or anything, but won't finish dead last, which is awesome. So P21, nearly a top 20. They don't count for anything, but every position is points. So as long as I can finish better than some of the folks close to me in the championship, I can see Jimmy Spencer ahead. It'd be good to finish in front of him. Oh, a crash right in front. Just not able to get under him. 5 laps, is that? Oh, and the car is hurt. We didn't take the yellow there, so I'm losing positions. And the car just won't turn. Nothing I could have done there. I was turning into such a good race, too. Bill Elliott and Rusty Watt. Well, who was that? Bill Elliott in front of me. So P27, 4 laps to go. I mean, what do I do? Do I stay out? I got Rusty Wallace behind me. Maybe a couple cars in the pit lane. But if we go green, I'd be absolutely screwed. I should know if we're going to go green. Let me, I'm going to pause it real quick. You can pause and change the pit stuff. I mean, I only want them to, replace one tire if I do have to pit. I'm going to try to stay out, because if it just finishes under yellow, which can happen, but I want to be ready to duck in if I have to. It's very slow. I'm worried I'm not going to be able to catch up to the end of the pacing line. Floor it down the front straightaway, sparks probably spewing from the car. Alright, we're going to catch up to the back of the pack. So as long as it doesn't give me a 1 to go this time, I think we'll be good. Yeah, it would be a long stop, but I've only told them to change the one tire that's missing, so it would hopefully be okay. Hopefully we don't get a 1 to go. Yeah, and I don't think it's going to give me the green flag with just one actual lap to go. So this one should finish under yellow. That's just too bad. I want to see what happened with that replay. We're on Harry Gant for some reason. We'll go back a couple laps. I don't think I could have avoided it. I saw them spinning out, and I didn't really realize that was going to happen. It's Ted Musgrave again. He did it on purpose. So what happened here? So we got Jimmy Spencer, Bill Elliott, Ted Musgrave coming out of the corner. It looks like Bill clipped the pit wall. Yeah, and all collected. I lost a tire there too. So, an unfortunate way to end Wilkesboro here. We've got 2 laps to go, and I don't think we'll be going back to green, so it looks like we're going to get a P27. Finish in front of a few guys. A little bit of attrition race here. But, yeah, a forgettable one. So we'll have to figure something out because we do come back to North Wilkesboro later in the season. And I need a car that's better off the line because the first 5 laps after the green comes out are like the worst thing. So we should be getting the white flag this time. White flag, 1 to go. Hobble this thing around. So, not the sweep I was hoping for with the short track season. Winning that first one at Bristol, but what was I up to? 21st before the accident, so not going to win today. If it went green the whole way, very optimistically, maybe we could have got a top 10, but qualifying, they were just so much quicker in qualifying. Let's come around, take the checkered flag, and then we'll get to watch our sad crew push the car back to the pit lane. So P27, checkered flag. Yeah, difficult one for sure. All right, jump out of the car. And there's the crew with the sad mustachio man carrying the car to the pits. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the damage then. So, P27, got 82 points for that. A few cars finishing behind us that were higher in the points, so Rusty Wallace, Bill Elliott, Ricky Rudd. Forgot I murdered Ricky Rudd off the start-finish line. Of course, the smallest of cars not racing in that one. But let's see who won the thing. Ken Schrader won, so redeeming himself after the loss to myself at Bristol. Ken Schrader wins at North Wilkesboro from Jeff Gordon. And Harry Gant coming in third, so Harry Gant had the pole, lost a few positions though. So points-wise, down to 25th, 650 points behind Dale Jarrett. Hut Strickland, Steve Grissom in front. We got Ted Musgrave right behind me, Bobby Labonte, Jimmy Spencer. So things starting to shake themselves out, and we'll take a look at the top. Harry Gant still in the lead, only by 71 points though, so things could close up really quick. He hasn't won the last 2 races at least. Ken Schrader starting to work his way up with a couple of wins. We'll go to the next one. So I want to do at least one more today, and we'll do Martinsville for that being the next race. So this will be the Haynes 500, I guess, in 1994, a race won by Rusty Wallace in Martinsville. So let's take a look. So Martinsville, the paperclip track, it's kind of wide for the sim, but I remember it being fairly decent. So we'll try this default fast setup and see how we do with everything. Do some practice though. All right, try to get out of the pits without tapping Rick Mast every time. Yeah, it's a wide one for sure. This is before they had the warm-up lanes and the single pit lane though. So there's 2 pit lanes, front stretch, back stretch. It's very wide. I like it though. Much easier track, I think, than North Wilkesboro. North Wilkesboro's hard. Can't remember racing there before. Not sure if I've done a race on all of these tracks, but harder than I remember it for sure. So it's going to be another case, I think, like Bristol, where maybe solo run speed is not super good, but the lap traffic and everything, assuming there's green flag runs, assuming there's a lot of green flag runs, we're going to hit the end of the pack pretty quick. So I just got to worry that the qualifying times will be like massively quicker than I'm able to do. There seems to be some weird speed advantage that these guys do. And I can actually, in this practice session, we could try out the qualifying setup if I need extra speed. No, I think keeping it in 4th is probably fine. There we go to the top. Able to stick with Jeff Gordon and Ernie Irvin here, clipping the grass a little bit. Won't want to do that. They always race like 1 lane up as well through turns 1 and 2. Oh, Jeff Gordon going out wide. Go below. If we can pass Jeff Gordon, we know things are in not too terrible a place. See if I can close in on Ernie Irvin here. Give me a good indication of where the car is at overall. Messy entries right now. I got to figure out the right place to throw the car in. Yeah, it's just crazy how much easier some of these tracks are than others, but makes it dynamic. And I guess that wouldn't be super unrealistic either, right? You're going to be better at some tracks than others. So able to stay on top. That would be a pretty decent lap. Oh, 95.6. Jeff Gordon just said pretty good one behind me too. So I think on outright pace, if I can put a good lap together, we're actually pretty quick. It's going to be the traffic which helps us out here. Let's hope something similar to Bristol. Yeah, catching a lot of the traffic here, so as long as we stay down low, we'll see if we can get by Ernie Irvin. I just want to check the tires before I rip one off of the car. Right front is on fire, so we're going to see if we can fix that. But overall, I think the default setup based off how the AI drive and everything too is it's not too bad. It feels a little tight overall, but I don't think I need to loosen it up too much. I was thinking I was going to dive into the pits there, but the pit entry is on the front straightaway. All right, so let's jump into the garage real quick, see if I can remedy this this right front. Temperatures are very even, though, across every tire, so we will want to go up with this quite a bit. All right. Otherwise, I think I'm going to keep things as they are, because it feels pretty good and it's pretty quick. I remember the AI being kind of slow around here. Now, do I want to do the qualifying setup or not? We might as well take a couple laps with it just to see if it feels okay, and if it does, I'll use that for the qualifying. Fuel's almost out because it just needs one lap of fuel, so it'll be a quick run just to feel this thing out. See what I can do. Wow, really revs high. Car slides into the corner. All right, so this would be coming to take the green if it was qualifying. Try to do a nice, neat entry. Keep it somewhat low. Get on the gas. The car likes to turn quite a bit. You can use that to your advantage if you're able to catch it, but running really wide through 3 and 4, so that would not be a good lap. 93 there. It's not too much quicker than mine, but it does feel better on the first lap out. Yeah, as long as I get a nice entry to the corner. So I think I will use this one for qualifying. Yeah, 9.56. All right, so we're gonna go qualify now for this 50 lap race. Let's see what the times are. 92, 93, 94. Okay. So as long as I can do what I just did, I should be able to get the pole. But we'll see. See what I can do here at Martinsville. The classic circuit for NASCAR, short track. A lot of oversteer coming out of 4, but we'll come take the green flag for qualifying. Just want to get a nice line. I shouldn't have to do anything too special here. As long as it's a halfway decent lap. Just don't want to be towards the back. Running a little wide coming in. See if I can arc it around. Easy on the throttle. Getting it nice and planted. Come to the line. 93.6 P9. Okay, so it was not. I was a little wide through 3 and 4, so I missed it slightly, but able to get a decent starting position for this one. So I'm going to take a very quick break, and then we'll get started with Martinsville 50 lap race here. So I'll be right back. All right, so 50 laps at Martinsville. Should be pretty quick. Quick race overall. Dale Earnhardt got the pole. And the real race winner, Rusty Wallace, is actually behind me. So I'm starting 9th position. So it should be should be a pretty good race. I think ninth, so I'll be on the inside, thankfully. And as long as, let's see here, a little D-axle setup. As long as I can get away and I don't have any kind of cold tire problems like we had in the last race, I'm hopeful things will go our way with Martinsville. Be similar to Bristol, I think, where we're going to catch lap cars a few laps in and have to dive in and out of those. But why don't we get started here? Fuel's full. And so why don't we go race at Martinsville? All right. So we're behind Harry Gant, Jeff Bodine, the two battling for the points championship. Be interesting to see who comes out front today. Let's wait for the green flag. Green is out, we're underway. Try to get a good run here into the first corner, wait for things to stack up a little bit, but able to get the right line, hopefully make a couple positions up off the start. Oh, cars side by side there and stacking up and able to make our way around the inside down the back straightaway, so that's going to get us up into third position after the first lap. So now I just want to settle in here a little bit, see if we can get a few laps. Caution might come out. I have been known to hit things probably a little less than North Wilkesboro, but you never know. Settling in, so we got Terry Labonte and Dale Earnhardt in front of us. Name a more iconic duo at Martinsville, or any short track really. Could we see Bristol 95, 96? And I can already see the end of the pack coming up on us, so. Yeah, and Zach, I am using a wheel. Oh, pit close means yellow flag, I think. So we'll come across the line. That should give us the yellow flag, maybe. Just stay in it a little bit, make sure. So some kind of crash behind us. Oh, things stacking up a little bit in front of us on the back straightaway. Come into turns 3 and 4. All right, I can get the position maybe on Terry Labonte as we'll come to the line. But can I get it on Earnhardt as well? Getting first position coming to the yellow. That would be frowned upon in real life, I think. Earnhardt would not be happy with that, but Axel does not give way. Here's the pace car here. All right. So a pretty good way to start the race here at Martinsville. Yeah, you would see old races where they did race back to the yellow. The leaders were not passing each other, unless it was yellow coming to the yellow to end the race. They were laying back, but we'll take advantage there. I know in the sim, Earnhardt's not going to back off. They don't know. They don't know that type of strategy. So we'll see if anything happened here. Got 3 cars in the pits. Darrell Waltrip again, so you can see him down there. Could assume something happened to Mr. Waltrip. Yeah, I do think the graphics are charming as well in a way. It's, I mean, it's clearly a very old game. This is not a serious sim race, but it's fun. I have fun. It kind of like when I took a look at the Spirit of Speed a couple of days ago. I'm thinking about doing a stream for that as well, if anybody's interested. But the, that obviously is a terrible game in sim, but it's just kind of weirdly charming. Same with this. I mean, it's a little more serious than something like a Spirit of Speed, but it has, it's got its charm to it. I like the old DOS Papyrus games quite a bit. So a couple laps in, or a few laps in, was able to sneak to the lead from Earnhardt. So now when we go back to green, we'll have to make sure to get the first corner well, and I think that will hopefully cement some of this for us for a few laps until we got to get to the lap traffic again. All right, 1 lap to green, 42 laps to go. The Spirit of Speed is not a hidden gem. It's quirky for the same reason somebody might think this looks really good. I mean, this is more of your DOS aesthetic, but yeah. IndyCar 1, yeah, it's much more primitive compared to this, but IndyCar 2 is basically this exact game, just with Indy cars. It's a good one. Definitely, I have a few videos of IndyCar 2, but I might do some of this with that at some point. It's a lot harder than this, I'll say. All right, we're going to get ready to take the green. Should come out almost immediately here. Green flag, pedal to the metal. Try to get up the gears nice and smooth, and then aim ourselves for T1 here. Pretty conservative line, just don't want to run too wide. Get back on the gas, then head down the back straightaway. And try to get away from Earnhardt and Labonte. Oh, as Terry Labonte's right on my rear. Running a little wide. Able to stay in front of him though. He's going to run to the outside, but I should have the advantage being on the low side. Really close up going into the corner, and not sure if they would rear end me, but wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Oh, sliding wide through 1 and 2. Gotta get the entry better than that if I want to stay in the lead. Car breaking away a little bit on the exit. Keep it nice and tidy. Got Terry on the high side there. Whoa, was Earnhardt able to get around him then? So Texas Terry falling back behind Dale Earnhardt. Got the Intimidator on my tail at Martinsville. So hopefully things settling down a little bit. As long as I keep my line tidy here, things should be good. And it'll just be a couple more laps and we'll be behind lap traffic. Oh, running wide. We got Darrell Waltrip right at the end of the pack. Would be somewhat realistic for 94. Seems like he probably had an incident a little earlier in the race. What a difference a week makes. Was nowhere at Wilkesboro. And at Martinsville here, leading the race once again. Can I make it 2 out of 3 of the short track stint? Okay, cars in front taking every possible lane on the circuit. We'll have to see what we can do here. Want to play it as careful as I can, but keep in mind I got Earnhardt behind me too. Working our way up the inside of Waltrip. Hopefully all these guys just stay out wide like this. Oh, Mike Wallace coming down low. Dave Marcus as well. Slotted in behind him. Marcus, of course, going to take my line. Maybe he'll run out wide with Bobby Labonte there. Ooh, I run a little wide as well. T1 then down the inside of Marcus. Keep it a little low on the exit. Sometimes I can sweep down on you. All right, able to make that work. And I pulled out a 3.5 second lead on Earnhardt. So time to just let the car ride. .31 laps to go, so still quite a ways. two yellow cars. I think it's Michael Waltrip with Sterling Marlin and Lake Speed right in front of me. Check out the tires a little bit. Right front's getting hot, but it's not bright red like it was in practice. So just try to go easy on it. Oh, these two in front want to take each other and me with them. All right, making it down low with the 15 car. Oh, and I heard some loud bang there. I don't think that was me. It scared the hell out of me. What was that? The engine still works for me, so we're taking the yellow flag. I think somebody blew an engine close to me. Just running out wide here. That was very loud and frightening, because that's what it sounds like when you blow an engine. And I wonder how I did that, because you can't see the temperature gauges, but nothing, I'm not over revving or anything like that. See if we can see here. Dave Marcus, maybe. I guess he was just behind me. Bobby Labonte as well. All right, well, always something happening at Martinsville. So 23 laps to go. We're in P1 from Ernie Irvin. So I think I'll have a few cars between me and Ernie on this start. Definitely somebody blowing their engine there. It was not me. Pretty easy to do at the road courses where you're doing a lot of shifting and over revving the car going into a corner. Classic like iRacing, just downshifting too soon. Same thing in this sim. Not looking forward to the road courses, to be honest here. They are quite difficult, if not for the track, for the AI as well. Good qualifying there will be very important. And I want to say thanks to everybody for watching today. I got over 50 people. Pretty much the whole stream, which is awesome. Random Saturday. I'm sure there's a lot going on. All right, so we should hopefully get the one to go this time by. I guess we'll do another lap as well. Eat up a few more of the laps. I guess that's less opportunities for the cars behind me to catch me. I might be alone in this, but I mean, I personally like NASCAR sticking to mostly oval circuits. It's kind of its bread and butter thing. So if you start having, I think they're going to have, what, 6 different road courses next year, which they'll be good races, but it's not quite what NASCAR is. There's plenty of touring car events and things to see. I like having a couple because it helps break things up a little bit, but maybe I'll really enjoy it. But like the race at the Daytona road course this year was not great. So 1 lap to green, 24 laps to go. All right, so just want to get a nice start, dive it into the corner. I've got some lap cars between me and Irvin, hopefully more than one. Should hopefully be able to pull out a little bit of a lead, get the tires back up to temperature, and then just in time probably hit the end of the pack. Pace cars turning in, green flag is out, we're back underway, shifting 8,000 RPM up to 4th. And then braking hard for the corner. Just want to keep it nice and tidy here. Nice and easy on the throttle with the cold tires. able to get away, but I do think I have Irvin right behind me. So we'll see if I can pull out a little bit of a lead. Can't quite tell who's behind you, but I think the orange hood gives it away. Driving the 28 Texaco Haviland car. Whoa, a little bit of oversteer on the exit. I guess I gotta say push. We're doing NASCAR. Right in the grass a little bit on the inside there. I think once we get a few laps in, I'm able to start pulling away from these guys, but they are very fast on the restarts. Well, and Irvin got a bad corner that time, so pulling out a little bit of a gap up to about a second. Irvin right on my rear now, ran wide through 3 and 4. You could see the lap cars coming. You have to make sure he doesn't try to dive under me. If I stay low, not like I'm doing there, oh, and he tries the high side that time, it's going to help me out. So 18 laps to go, and we're just about to catch the lap traffic. We'll do what I did last time, just play it nice and easy, safe on the low side, hope that the cars behind me don't catch up. Steve Grissom first up here. Looks like he's got quite a lot of front end damage. See if I can dive it up the inside of Steve. Into the first turn, just right on the yellow line. That's the line you'd want in real life. This track is so far from the real one. Michael Waltrip sliding down in front of me. How wide are we? 4 or 5 wide there. See if I can sneak it up under Waltrip as well. 15 laps to go. My practice nemesis, Ted Musgrave, in front. Cars making themselves fairly easy to get around, but at any point they could jump down in front of me. I have to be careful about that. Ken Schrader way back here. The guy to have won North Wilkesboro. Seems like a repeat of my week last week, winning Bristol and then finishing so poorly at North Wilkesboro. But I think I've got these guys covered behind. It's more or less just avoiding these cars in front. I really like to run each other up the circuit. All the way down to the pit wall. Alongside Schrader. Keep it nice and tidy here on the low side. Get the throttle up. Whoa. The car is nearly stopping in front of me there. That Dale Jarrett. How many can we put a lap down? Whoa. Pit's closed, so we're going to have a yellow flag coming out. Do one more lap here. Basically, you don't get the yellow until it waves. So some accident somewhere. Pit closed then. All right, get the yellow flag. Got 10 laps to go, so we will go green again here. See if we can catch the pace car with these AI sort themselves out getting past. Mark Martin there in front of us. So let's see how far we've lapped up to. So up to 15th. Ken Schrader, so he wasn't doing that bad, but we're just lapping everybody. I would love if F1 returned to Watkins Glen. It's a track within distance of me to go to, but they'll never do it. The track's not safe enough for an F1 car, and I don't want to think what they'd have to do to the circuit for a modern F1 car to race there. They would have to ruin it, basically. So that's not going to happen, but it would be amazing. It'd be a fun thing to do in a sim. Race some modern F1 cars around Watkins Glen. I mean, Watkins Glen still does have Armco around a significant amount of it, and that's an outlawed barrier for Formula One. some bad things happened with Armco barriers. There's only 2 cars out, but we have quite a few lapped cars, I think, between myself and Irvin. 1 lap to go till green, so we'll have 7 laps under the green to hopefully wrap this thing up. Right front's taking a bit of a beating, but we'll be all right. I got some pretty fun stuff planned, both for streaming as well as video, so appreciate everybody checking out this. Definitely continue the NASCAR streams periodically. Probably end it after this race today. Finish our short track season, but here we come, take the green flag. Green is out. Just trying to get the shifts right. A little early there. Up to 4th. Hug it around the inside. Schrader behind. He's going to be able to stick with me because he is pretty quick, but slowed up a lot there. I think sometimes you can get them in a weird spot where they really check up. 5 laps to go, though. Nice and easy. I know this version of Martinsville is unrealistic, but I really like it as a circuit. It'd be interesting if there were a track like this. This could be potentially what the California Speedway is going to be like a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit like Martinsville Super Speedway, but they're saying that the new California Speedway is going to be somewhat Martinsville-esque with high bank corners. I mean, what do we got here? So potentially shades to come, maybe inspired by Martinsville for NASCAR 1. Just a couple laps to go. No pressure at all from behind. Not going to put myself into any pressure trying to pass any of these cars ahead. 2 laps now. These cars in front really jockeying around. Hopefully Bill Elliott there is not going to ruin my day again. We'll come get the white flag though. Just 1 more lap to go. Nice and easy now. Got 7.5 second lead over Irvin. Jeff Purvis, I think, behind me, but he is a lap down. Take it nice and easy through turns 3 and 4. Back in front, all over each other. But come into line, sweep it down the inside, I guess, to take the win at Martinsville. So winning the Haynes 500. 2nd win of the season. 2 out of 3 of the short tracks. I think we can call Axel Richardson a short track ace. Admittedly, some of these are a little easier than others, but still feels good to put it together. There's a lot of ways that this could go wrong. And I wish I could do a burnout, but you really can't. And I'm afraid to drive like reverse around the circuit or something in case we'd get a black flag, but we'll ride. for the win at Martinsville. Crossing the line in the lead. Second race, one on this stream, I guess, but second of the season as well. And the whole team celebrating once again with our favorite. He should keep his helmet on, probably. What happened to your face, buddy? Alrighty. Let's take a look at everything now that race is done as well. So, Axel Richardson Jr. leading 46 laps at Martinsville, so I had to pass some cars. The first lap I really lucked out there. Winning from Ernie Irvin, Dale Earnhardt, Terry Labonte, and Jimmy Spencer, wow, finishing in 5th, so it's one of the people that's behind me in the championship, so good thing I finished in front of him. Looking at the bottom here, 2 accidents, Dave Marcus, Bobby Labonte. One of those must have blew their engine or something. Alright, so let's take a look then at the points. So up to 19th with that win. The wins really obviously help you, but 2 wins, 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s. So what that means is 2 races I won flying away, and then the others have all struggled, because you would see additional top 10s. That's what I got to work on, is the ones where we're not quick enough to win, at least finishing the race competitively. Take a look at the top of the championship. Things narrowing a little bit. Harry Gantz in front of Dale Earnhardt. Now Dale Earnhardt passing Jeffrey Bodine for second, but just by a few points. So stuff is tighter than ever. Like I said last stream, we'll see this championship go to the very end, and it, I think, shows at least how awesome the old point structure was for NASCAR. All right, so if we look at the schedule ahead, Talladega is the next race, followed by Sears Point, and then down to Charlotte for the 600. So it's where we're going to end things for this stream. But it should be a pretty interesting one next time, going from a super speedway to a road course to what will be the longest race of the season with Charlotte. And nice to see Axel Richardson Jr. winning 2 of the races, Ken Schrader getting 2 other ones, and Harry Gant winning 3. So only 3 winners out of the first, 7 races this season. So appreciate everybody watching. Hope it was entertaining, and we'll see you all again next time.